Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Aidin Taeb, PhD student at the EC department, almost finishing my PhD. I'm here on behalf of Professor Safavi Naini from EC department. Today, I'm going to talk about 4 major research in life science and technology at CIARS. The first 2 research are the one that I'm involving in those one, and the other 2 are the one that my friends and my colleagues working on those one. Before starting talk about the research, please allow me to, in one slide, introduce our center, CIARS. CIARS stands for Center for Intelligent Antenna and Radio Systems. Is the world-class radio science and technology research facility at the University of Waterloo. We call it one-stop shopping. In fact, everything from conceptualization to realization can be happened here. We have a prototyping lab that is some kind of the encapsulated version of industry. We can do all kind of the fabrication up to 1 micrometer accuracy. Then we have different kind of the labs about microwave and radiation lab that we can do all kind of the electromagnetic measurements. Based on our contractor, NSI, the antenna lab that we have is the most advanced antenna lab in the world. And also, we have a very accurate and precise antenna millimeter wave setups. So almost we can do all kind of the fabrication and measurements. So everything can be done in-house. Okay, after this short introduction, by the way, today is the anniversary of our CIARS because officially it was open last year. The first research is about the low-cost and compact biomedical and sensors. And that's the main research that I'm working on those ones. So here you can see the general configuration of the sensor. We have different configuration. Mainly we are working at the millimeter wave and terahertz range of frequency, something between 50 gigahertz to 1 terahertz, so between the optical region and micro region, because mainly at this region, the molecules have higher vibration and we can sense them more accurately. Different kind of the application we define for our sensors. Liquid sensing, glucose sensing, drug tablet, and biological sample. And for each of them, we are using one of these configurations. And these resonators are very sensitive to any kind of the change in the environmental. I don't want to go to detail, but mainly we are working based on the resonance of the molecules. So just assume that these resonances are somehow the fingerprint of those molecules. Based on that, we reached to different kind of the prototypes, the alumina-based, silicon-wise. Actually, we developed a highly advanced kind of the silicon-based technology in our group that is very, very good, very low cost and very low loss kind of the sensor and very sensitive ones. Here, just I wanted to mention some of the examples that we tested. The first prototype was tested for the tablet for distinguishing between different type of the Viagras, also for the classification of the acetaminophen. So these are the first measurement that we started. And then we used the other prototypes for mainly testing of the biological samples, DNAs, protein, even for glucose samples and liquid samples. And here just you can see the result, for example, for DNA sample. And we reached very good results, and just assume that we invented some kind of the sensor competitor for the optical sensors that is very low cost and very sensitive. So that's what we reached. And especially we can detect even 2 different single-strand DNAs from each other. The next research is about the cancer pre-screening. We call it cancer sniffer. Actually, most of these works are initiated by Dr. Gigoyan from Armenia that is also attended here. So he helped us too much to reach to these results. But what's the problem? Skin cancer is one of the most common all kind of the cancer. Actually, 88,000 of people in Canada in 2012 unfortunately has a cancer. And it's bad to know that the rate of the stage survival for the advanced kind of the cancer is the 15%. So we need kind of the early stage cancer detector to have a chance to useful treatment for the people. But what's the conventional diagnosis method? There are the ABCD that dermatologists call it ABCD methods, biopsy method, and imaging and dermoscopy methods. But usually either they are expensive or not accurate. So our idea is to introducing low-cost, non-invasive, and mass-producible kind of the cancer detector. We call it cancer sniffer. So here is the idea. We're just using the reflection from the skin. So we have a device, very small device that is sliding over the skin, and based on the reflection that we are receiving, we detect that and distinguish between the cancerous and non-cancerous spots. So here is the first prototype that we built. As you can see how small it is. It's very low cost, it's $100. And we tested on different patients, and here is the result. Almost 95% as a successful result we achieved. And here are the main features of this kind of the sensor. We are at the level of the commercialization of this sensor. And as you see, in the future, we want to have it as a pen type of the cancer sensor to be able to send the data to, for example, as an example, your BlackBerry, and BlackBerry acts as a node and send the information to any kind of the cloud or anyone else. So this is the cancer sniffer that I wanted to talk. The third research that we are working on that one is that integrated transcranial magnetic stimulator that's mainly for treating the mental diseases. What's the problem? Actually, mainly the neurological diseases bring some kind of the out of control problems, mainly depression, chronic pain, and addiction. There are drugs that for relieving this kind of the problem, but mainly they are not useful, or even they want more addiction to the drugs, and they have many side effects. So one solution to that is using the TMS technology. Mainly TMS emit huge kind of the magnetic field to your brain and depolarize your cells in your brain. So this way, you relieve the depression in your brain. This is one of the successful projects that my colleagues started from 10 years ago in our group. And they reached to the very, very good kind of the prototype. They tested, actually, that is the two main aspects of this device is one for the clinical, another one for research. In compared to the other alternative in the market, the duty cycle of this device is much more, and also the penetration is much more in compared to other ones. And the final idea is using this one along with the EEG feedback to be able both analyzing and also treatment the brain diseases and problems. The last research that I'm going to briefly talk about that is we call it the BAN, body area networking, that nowadays is very hot, mainly talking about the smart wireless sensor network for health and environmental monitoring. So mainly the idea is using different sensors on your body. It can reach to the 1,000 of the sensors. So when it's reached to 1,000, the important parameter is that it should be very low energy consumption and very low cost. And then these sensors can be connected to each other and then to the cloud and send it securely to outside to a person, pre-authorized person for controlling those things. So low cost or almost no energy and security is very important in this research. One of the important aspects is that when you put a sensor on the body, the behavior is completely different in the air. So it should be completely studied and investigated. Therefore, we did huge simulation and also the test to find out that what's the effect of human body on those sensors to have a good estimation about the behavior of those sensors. This is one way that we are following. Also, it's good to know that this is a huge project that is divided between 3 groups, one from India and 2 from our university. Some people working on reaching to the very low energy signal processing, the other working on the digital imagers, and we are working on the RF end part of that. So here is the test bed that we are developing to test all those sensors to be as much as efficient as we want. So this one, just wanted to briefly mention about the research that are ongoing in our center and make you familiar with those one. I can go more to detail and the questions after the meeting. Thank you.
Any questions? One question?
The last part that you were talking about, the sensor, what exactly is the sensor of the physical basis? What it senses?
The different kind of the sensor can be used, the EEG, EMG, ECG. So these sensors mainly, for example, getting the pulse from your body, and they can, for example, control the oxygen of your body. They can see the level of the hemoglobin in your body, all kind of the critical information from your body, and then send it to the physician to analyze those ones. So different, not just one kind of the sensor, different kind of the sensor can be used.